In this video, we take a look at some of the SpotOnView's life cycle methods, if you will, that are actually going to be called by the SpotOnActivities lifecycle methods. So you may recall that the SpotOn.java file had an onPause method for the SpotOnActivity, and what it did was to call our pause method for the SpotOnView. Now, the purpose of this method is to release resources and cancel all of the animations so that the app is not consuming resources in the background when the app is not currently running in the foreground. So what we do here is we set our game paused variable to true to indicate that the game is not running right now, it's paused. We release any sound pool resources that we had acquired, and then set that reference to null to indicate that we're no longer referring to a sound pool. And we also call our own method cancelAnimations, which you see defined down here. Now, basically, in this app, we are not storing the state of the game at the time that it was pushed to the background. You could certainly store information in here using perhaps the shared preferences object associated with the app, and basically store where every image view was at the time that it was sent to the background, that is, the app was sent to the background. You might store the sizes of those image views, where they were in their animations. If you want, you could make this very robust so that the user, when they come back to the app, could continue executing from where they left off. In this case, we chose to keep the app as simple as possible so that we could focus on the animation concepts in the example rather than on storing state information and restoring state information when we come back to live running app. Now, cancelAnimations has a couple of key things in it. First of all, here at line 138 and 139, we're using an enhanced for loop to walk through our animators collection, which you can see here is a queue. And basically, we're saying for every animator in that collection, cancel the animation. And this is going to terminate any animation that's executing immediately. We walk through all of the different animator objects that we maintain. There's one for every image view that's currently animating on the screen, and you'll see where we create those in a subsequent video. And we simply terminate them at this point, and they end immediately when you call cancel. Then at line 142 and 143, we walk through all of the image views in our spots collection, another queue, and we simply remove them from our parent relative layout so that when the user does come back to the app, there won't be lingering spots left on the screen. We'll start from scratch. At line 145, we say to the spot handler, which is our handler object, remove all callbacks for the add spot runnable. And basically what this is saying is don't allow any pending runnables that we had already submitted to the handler to actually get executed. And that means that because the game is going into the background, we wouldn't put a new spot onto the screen, for example. Finally, we clear out the animators collection and the spots collection, and that way when we do resume the game, we can start from a fresh, from scratch state. Now, the resume method, as you saw in the SpotOnActivities onResume method, gets called from onResume, and it's going to indicate that game paused is now false. It's going to reinitialize the sound effects by calling our initialize sound effects method and passing in the context, which is the activity that gives us access to all these different resources. And then finally, if there's no dialogue displayed right now, we will call reset game to start a new game. If there's still a dialogue on the screen, the user will have to interact with that dialogue to start the new game.